been 100 years of television. Rebecca's only watched a few.
There's a lot of TV you haven't seen, Rebecca.
There's a lot of TV that I have seen.
There's a lot of TV.
Is it 100?
It's about 100. No, not 100.
Rebecca, fact check, go.
How long?
Well, when did TV? In the 50s. So it's been 50, 60, approximately 65, 70 years worth.
Yeah.
So approximately 50, 60, 70 years worth of TV.
Go on, look it up.
We've got us three learned peoples here to tell you all about it.
Learned. It's
Yeah.
pronounced learned.
But we're not going to talk about the whole history. No, indeed.
Oh,
We're only going to talk about,
notes.
basically current stuff.
I looked up the history of General Electric, everything. Like the cathode ray tube tilt. Oh, damn it.
I'm sorry you prepared for it, but
I gotta read these notes better. Like the history of television. I thought you meant literally, not. Oh,
no. There's a lot of TV. We can't do it all in one episode. We'll probably do it in more. But we're going to just talk about, in general, stuff on TV we like.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going on
I have
today.
this nice photo frame on top of my TV I like.
Do you?
What's
cool.
on TV? Very nice. Very clever.
That's the type of jokes you get out of this show.
So,
lucky bastard you.
the last few years have been pretty awesome television-wise. Would you not agree?
I definitely agree. It's definitely gone up.
I'm glad to see our CSI shows have tapered off and our procedural dramas have thinned out to like the actual good ones.
True.
Reality TV is still a little too prevalent for my liking. I don't think we need 80 versions of the same talent show.
That's true. So it's been referred to many times now, especially the last year, by many critics and many people. This is the golden age of television.
Wrong.
Not wrong. Correct.
Completely wrong.
Not wrong. I completely agree, actually.
I put this the Bronze Age of television.
No, they're talking the golden age is in top quality, superior shows on TV.
Yeah, I constantly see a lot of people who say that they prefer watching TV to movies because there's so many good TV shows.
And there's such a variety now.
Yeah.
That you've never seen before on TV ever.
And with the cable networks, you could do a lot of stuff that you can't do on regular networks.
And that's why.
I think they're relying too much on the shock value, the lame talent shows than they were back when
No, that's
TV
not what they're referring to about, though.
I think it's TV. It's like the comic book industry. You wouldn't call now the golden age of comic books.
But that's not how they're referring it as in that sense. They're saying...
You
the
said
variety and wealth
variety
of shows.
You've got variety and quality in the books
when they
now.
say,
we don't call it the golden age of comics.
I think when
we're not talking about that. Though.
I think when they say a golden age, I think they mean like stuff on AMC and Showcase and HBO
everything.
And
they're saying out of
but for every Breaking Bad, there's a million Nobody's Got Talent shows.
Yeah, but that's not what they're referring to. Out of the last 70 years, the last 2 years, we've seen the quality of television blow through the roof.
I think so.
It is crazy.
I think they're basically ignoring the reality side and they're focusing on the good stuff.
Well, you could say any year is the golden age of television. If
I think
they're
saying though that the good stuff is getting better and better.
Because right now,
I think the good stuff is getting fewer and fewer far between.
No, I think it is the golden age. We've got Homeland, for instance, it's like a CIA type spy thriller type show. You've got Vikings, which is about Vikings, and it's a top-rated show. You've got, like, Breaking Bad, you mentioned before. That's a great show. Dexter it's in its 7th year, and it's breaking ratings every episode from previous years. Like, that's crazy. No show is supposed to get higher and higher. They're supposed to decline as they go along.
I don't think that's a general rule. I think
it's not a general rule, but that's what generally happens.
Most shows peak in like season 3, 4.
True Blood, it's getting higher ratings than it ever did before. Californication, higher ratings than it's ever done before. And they're all vastly different shows. And they're all top quality shows.
Many of the shows you've mentioned are not on network television, so I think our basic cable quality shows have increased.
Well, that's why they're referring to it. They're
network
talking in general.
Network television,
including network. Network television has some good shows too.
Because network television wants the most bang for the least buck. So they do the talent and the crap reality shows.
Well, they have to keep the budget up, right?
But I mean, we don't have
Hannibal network show. Amazing.
What is the sitcom on TV right now that you could say that everyone loves?
I would say Modern Family.
That's the only one I can think
Family.
of that was close.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have a Seinfeld. We don't have a Friends type sitcom anymore because they're not. Look, there have been shows that have tried that.
Yeah,
but they're just not.
I think sitcoms in general have gone down.
Completely, they've gone downhill.
Like, there have been some really, really good sitcoms, but people just aren't interested in sitcoms like they used to be. Because
why do you think that is?
I think it's partially because of the cable shows that are on.
I know.
They're
taken
much
people
better away from.
Californication's a comedy. It's doing phenomenally well. It's not as funny as it was in previous seasons, but it's still good.
Yeah.
We've got shows like Copper about cops in like 1800 New York and whatever. Like it's great. We got what else is there?
I think
there's so many.
I think in the most part, people would rather watch stuff on cable than they would on for network shows. So I think that's taking away from.
That used to be the exact opposite. People were so drawn to network TV. If you mention basic cable for your TV show, they're like, I'm not watching that show.
Yeah, but now it's the other way around. So
yeah. So
which gives us more great basic cable shows.
Well, there is still good network TV. Like, there is still a lot of good shows. It's just TV is everything now. It's basic cable and it's network.
Yeah.
The problem with network, I think, is that they're still expecting to get the same numbers of viewers as they were.
They're looking for Friends and Seinfeld numbers.
Well, yeah, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, their numbers are going down, and so they cancel all these shows. Some of these are really, really good shows, and they cancel them because they're not getting the numbers that they got 10 years ago. Because
they're also shotgunning shows. They're just blasting out so many shows at one time, seeing what sticks.
Well, the other thing is
they have to. That's
the other thing too is because they're still using the Nielsen system, so they're basing all of their
that'll work.
They're basing all of their decisions on a handful of people.
Now some networks are factoring internet shows or internet viewing, such as Community. That's why we still have it.
Yeah.
The DVR numbers are high, and the
can you imagine if they just went off Nielsen's on Community?
It would have been gone a long time ago.
But it's not really common practice yet, though.
No, it's not.
Because that takes more effort.
Like Hannibal again. It's a great show. NBC, probably the worst network currently right now. It's phenomenal.
How bizarre is it just to say that?
I know.
Like 10, 15 years ago, thinking NBC would be like basement dweller when it comes to cable and network television.
Used to be number one.
Yeah.
Used to be. CBS is currently the number one network.
And that has been for a long time.
Yeah, for about 10 years now.
And that has so much to do with CSI.
Due to CSI, and CIS is their highest rated show.
Plus they've also got Survivor, they've got Big Brother, and
NCIS is in its 11th year.
I don't
11th year.
understand.
And it's their highest rated show.
CSIs have kind of tapered, haven't they?
Yeah,
the
there's
one
only
left
the main one left.
is the original now, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they canceled New York this year, didn't they?
Yeah. Is Miami gone as well?
Miami was canceled last year or the year before.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
What will Caruso do now?
Supernatural. It was good, and then they thought, well, we got to make room for new shows. They put it on Fridays to die off a slow death.
Same with Smallville.
And it bucked the numbers, and it actually rose in viewers, so they put it back during the main week. It did so well.
Same thing with Smallville. They put it on Fridays to die, and it grew and grew. I don't think it had anything to do with where it was in the schedule. It was fan base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
because
there's still good shows on network
majorly rabid
TV.
fans for some of these CW shows. People make fun of the CW all the time, but the people they do have some quality shows, and the shows that the good shows that they do have major fan bases.
Yeah.
So do you have any shows that are on right now that you enjoy a lot?
For me,
what are your current, maybe not favorite show, but the shows you enjoy the most?
The shows that I wouldn't want to wait.
Now.
Yeah. Like right now, or like when's this?
Right now. 2013.
Oh,
Go.
But do you mean like
go
at this in
Pick
the
one.
summer, or do you mean like
2013?
Because like the show that I have to watch right away is Castle.
That's an old show, but yeah, I agree. It's good.
Not
That's
good
why
enough.
I was wondering what you meant. If it's like
No, that's
this,
fine.
like-
Castle's good. I enjoy Castle a lot too. I can wait for that one though. It's not as good as some
Oh
other
yeah,
shows.
see, I love this. It's a show that I have to watch immediately. I love that show so much.
Which is funny. That's another show that bucks the trend, and its ratings get higher and higher every year as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny. It shouldn't, but it does.
I love that show so much, just because they throw so many geeky, references and stuff
It's a nerdish
into it.
type of show.
I don't think I've ever actually seen an episode of
Oh,
Castle.
it's so good. You should watch it. It's
Nathan
so funny.
Fillion, fantastic actor.
Yes.
He is so good in that. So does Stana Katic or Kajic,
Kajic, I think.
something
Yeah.
like that. She's fantastic.
Well, the two guys who play Esposito and Ryan, they're pretty good side characters too, because they have moments where they're just just little comments here and there that are really funny. And the three guys together, they all because
oh yeah, they're perfect. Like that bro code type thing going on right there.
And then there's Kate off on her own, and she's like, "What the hell are you guys talking?"
Yeah.
It's really cool though. It's a really
What
good
else? What else besides Castle?
Right now, let's see. Well, Supernatural for sure is one.
Yeah.
Again, never seen an episode of that.
Awesome
It's
show.
another awesome show.
It is so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Really, really good. Yeah. What?
So nothing new, basically. Just two shows that are really old.
Not really old. What are you talking about?
Shows that she's
Supernatural
invested
in
in.
its 9th year.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Castle's
newer
what, in its
shows
6th
like
year?
I also love sitcoms. So I like Modern Family. I like Suburgatory. I like Community, obviously.
Yeah, Community's really good.
Community I have to
Mr.
watch.
D.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny. Oh
Mr.
my
D is funny,
God.
but it's uncomfortable.
That's what makes it so funny. It
Because
makes it even
O'Brien
more
syndrome.
funnier.
But it's,
yeah.
it's just because
Makes it even more funnier.
That's right.
That's your new T-shirt
more and
slogan.
more, funnier and funnier every
Mr. D
day.
is funny because he is so high on himself and he just doesn't
But
grasp.
has no reason to be.
He doesn't grasp when he's making a fool of himself. He just it's hilarious, but it's also uncomfortable to watch. It's like Louis when his show is on too.
Oh, I
It's
never
another one
watched that.
It's a good show, but it's also uncomfortable to watch because he kind of makes a fool of himself sometimes too because doesn't always get the social grace of things.
Well, did you watch any of these other new shows that are out right now, like Homeland? Watch that?
Haven't seen that one. No.
Vikings?
No, I haven't seen that either.
What else is there? Oh, so many. The Newsroom?
Nope.
Man. How about you, Gary?
I don't actually have TV.
Neither do I.
You have Netflix.
So I have Netflix, which
Did you watch Boardwalk Empire?
no, I haven't started watching that yet.
That's awesome.
I love like this season of Arrested Development and then all the seasons previous.
Yeah.
I've thoroughly enjoyed. Hemlock was a good show.
Hemlock Grove was really good.
I enjoyed that quite a lot.
I love that show.
I'm kind of in the same boat as Rebecca with shows that I've been a fan of for a while that I just keep watching. I think my favorite show on TV is still got to be Game of Thrones.
Yep, it's a
I
good
love
show.
that. I'm so happy
Damn
Breaking
good
Bad
show.
is coming back.
That's the thing. Another wildly different genre
Yeah,
of a show, right?
true.
That's on TV now.
The problem with new shows is that they're canceling shows left, right, and center.
It's
so
a risk to get involved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I've
But
gone
if you
into,
don't, then it's
I
for
know.
sure going to be
I
canceled.
still get into them, but I get
right?
into them, and then I find out they're canceled, and it's just like, come on.
That's why I like
Get
getting into
invest-
some animated shows because they have such a lower production cost that
True.
it's okay to watch them right off the bat because they're still going to be making them.
Yeah.
And that's the shows that you recommend for me to watch. I'm like, how many seasons are there? Well, one. Well, I'll wait till there's a couple.
Yeah.
But I don't have TV either, so I don't contribute to.
True enough.
I actively take away from ratings. That's how I do
well,
it.
that goes on to our next topic then. Internet TV. Do you think it's the future? Is
Well,
network
considering-
TV totally out of place
Considering
now?
we live in a
Yeah.
country where they don't care about us as far as network TV on the internet goes, I'm going to say no. Like, I can't watch something on MTV. I can't watch something on Hulu because I don't live in the precious United States
we have
of
our
America.
Canadian equivalents.
Not
Oh,
every,
whoopee.
yeah, but they don't always show stuff like
Yeah,
that though.
Not everyone, no.
But I think if they're going to, I think internet TV is going to be a big thing, but I think they're going to have to start showing stuff in other countries because some websites some network websites will allow
Yeah,
stuff.
they're going to have to get rid of the region locks.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is stupid.
And the thing that didn't make any sense though is because some like internet or some network websites allow anyone to watch your stuff and some don't. So how come it's law for one website?
MTV is the biggest perpetrator.
CBS
of
is
that.
terrible too.
I do not like being redirected to MTV Canada,
which doesn't let me watch half the stuff that I want to see.
Well, CBS is the same thing. They don't even redirect you anywhere.
Yeah, it's just a big middle finger.
It's not available in your area or whatever. But
like I watch Big Brother on Global because that's the only place I can watch.
Yeah, exactly. And the same thing like with Survivor. Once they start with the jury, they stay at a place they call the Ponderosa Ranch, and they have a little web thing where they show what happens at the Ponderosa Ranch after they've been voted out, and that's interesting. You can only see it if you're American.
Yeah.
So
and it makes no sense because your audience that you have on TV isn't region locked to the U.S.
Exactly.
Why are you region locking your worldwide website?
But it just doesn't make sense that how come it's region locked for some websites, for some networks, but not for other networks? It doesn't make any sense.
But internet streaming, more and more people are watching it now than they ever have before.
And I think it's going to keep doing that because people are.
I watch a lot more internet streaming than I ever have before, and I have cable.
Yeah, and I think it's going to keep doing that.
I wouldn't mind like if I had a site like if CBS had a package where you could stream every show they air for like $50, $20 a month. Okay.
Yeah.
I pay it.
I think it's going to be like that more and more, though, because I think people are going to get more and more frustrated with actual cable and stuff. Yeah. And people, like a lot of people, they want to see stuff on their computers. They want to be able to see stuff on their laptops while they're traveling. They don't have
phone,
TV everywhere.
Their tablet, their whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can just get a dongle or whatever, or stream it to your TV anyway.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter if you have cable.
I think cable's going to eventually go just disappear eventually, and it'll all be internet. But
plus up here with our cable,
I don't know if it'll disappear completely.
No,
you'll still have your local channels, which will air local stuff plus shows they pay for. Like CTV pays CBS to air CSI, for instance, and so.
But it's going to go down in popularity, and people are more and more people.
Oh, for sure. I don't think it'll ever go away, though.
I think
at least not for the next 50 years.
I think the cable packages as we see them today will go away.
Well, the pricing is outrageous.
I want one channel, I have to pay for 12 that I will never watch.
Exactly, that's so
8 versions of Home and Garden Television to get Space Channel. Go to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really frustrating.
That's one of the reasons I canceled my cable. I'm not paying outrageous amounts of money a month to watch 4 stations worth of television.
For sure. And also the difference between, let's say, Netflix. You have X amount of shows up here in Canada, but then you also have X plus Y shows in America. That shouldn't be. We should all have the same shows.
We really should.
Because maybe I like those shows you're showing down there, and now I can't watch them. Because you've locked them out of my region.
It's forcing people to acquire their content in various other ways.
True. You could pay for it on iTunes. Many shows are.
But there's a lot of stuff. There's a difference there too, though, because there's a lot of stuff on iTunes Canada that you can't get. But you
that is also true. The difference between iTunes and various regions.
Their region locks stuff on iTunes too. So.
Like, I know there's part like licensing and deals and crap like that.
Oh yeah.
But if there's what is the difference between U.S. and Canadian internet?
I know.
You're still getting money for such a
I understand maybe over-air broadcasting rights could be different between the CRTC and whatever the hell the U.S. version is.
And there are differences.
So I can understand that. But when it comes to pumping ones and zeros into my house, why is it that I can't download this from iTunes or iTunes Store in the U.S., but it locks it out for me up here in Canada?
And the thing is, too, aren't American, aren't they more strict than we are anyway?
Yeah, they are.
So
they want to wring more money out of their people or some other BS money.
It'd be one thing if their laws were more lax and ours are more strict, and so they couldn't bring it here because of our strict laws. We're more lax than they are, so that shouldn't be an issue either.
It
because
shouldn't be.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like I said, it's pushing people to get their content other places, whether they be competition or through other illicit means,
or even just waiting for the DVDs to come out. A lot of people do that too. They wait till the DVD comes out.
I like DVD box sets,
but I mean that takes away from ratings because they don't want to.
Exactly.
But
the sales help also pay though for other things.
Yeah. But same thing with borrowing DVDs from someone else, though. Like, you don't. It's
True.
not illegal to borrow DVDs from someone else.
But as ratings suggest, shows are declining, TV is declining, internet streaming is going up.
Yeah.
So it does look like it is the future.
I think we'll see more specific series based on webs.
For sure.
Models.
Oh yeah.
Like Arrested Development, House of Cards, that Orange is the New Black. I think we'll start seeing those far more often than
Children's
we are now.
Hospital and stuff like that. You know, actual web shows.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We'll definitely see more shows like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I like having them all in one. What do you prefer? Do you prefer
that's what I was getting to.
Oh, okay.
When you watch shows now, because of the way we can, all the different ways we're available to get shows, like Netflix or buying them in a box set or downloading them from iTunes or whatever. Do you prefer to binge watch now or wait as they're released?
That's the problem. It depends on the show, because for shows where I feel like I can wait, like I can wait for Dexter till it's done to be able to get
to binge watch it.
But there are certain shows, especially shows that people talk about at work.
Yeah, you can't run it.
Because I mean, like reality shows, especially too, like they talk about
Game of Thrones as well.
Yeah, and stuff like that.
People talk about that every day.
I love when, like on Netflix, when Arrested Development showed up, or Hemlock Grove, it was, hey look, we've got 12 episodes, 20 episodes, whatever. Here you go. Take them. Go.
Yeah. Do what you want.
I find that binge watching works if the show is designed for that. I found it more difficult to go back and watch some of my older favorite shows in a binge setting.
Like Sequest DSV?
No.
But I mean, but procedural shows are harder to watch all at once because it's the same thing. It's the same process.
I just finished mainlining Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It was definitely more challenging to watch that back-to-back consecutive episodes, because that show, I think you need the time in between.
See, I disagree. I watched it as it was released.
Same here.
And then I bought all the box sets and I binge watched them all.
Yeah.
And I went season after season in 2 weeks or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't find it difficult at all, because that is a serial type show.
I think some of the annoying character flaws kind of grate a little more. Like when Dawn showed up in Buffy, she is so annoying binge watching that show because she's so whiny.
For the first bit.
That's what I found, because I've been rewatching Doctor Who, and I find the same thing with Rose. Watching her week to week, because she is very impulsive and very,
You need that palate cleansing break.
You do, because watching her back to back makes her really annoying.
Yeah. See, then again, everything is based on opinion.
True,
where I've streamed Doctor Who all the way through, and I didn't find Rose annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Rose.
I do. I like the ability to just sit down and watch a chunk of episodes. Like with Game of Thrones, I have to watch it week to week. But if they put out 4 episodes in a row, I'd watch them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, for certain shows certain shows like Doctor Who and stuff, I have to watch it right away just because I want to watch it. But for some of the shows, I would prefer, if I could have them all at once, I would prefer that. Yeah. But just because some shows, there's some, especially the more complex shows, you tend to forget.
You don't want to forget things like Fringe. I binge watch it. Mm-hmm. I used to watch it week to week, but then I found maybe I didn't remember something from 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened? What was this thing about?
I found the same thing with Dexter and stuff like that too. Stuff where just tiny minor details, and Doctor Who too. You forget about week to week. But then when we watch
you watch it all in a row. I just saw that yesterday morning.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember that perfectly, right?
Exactly.
I find that with all of the new science fiction shows on television right now, Revolution, Continuum, Defiance, I prefer watching them all in a row.
Me too.
I just find they work a lot better because they're telling an overarching story.
I think a lot of TV shows are designed that way now, to be viewed in chunks.
Yeah, I had to
episodically.
I rewatched. Yeah, I had to watch Revolution basically all in a row, and it was way better than watching week to week. Because,
I watched it all in a row, and I found it 10 times better than I did
because
week
watching
to week.
week to week, and that's the other thing too, is because for some shows, even no matter how, and it was the same thing with Lost. With Lost, I loved the show, but after a few weeks of it being off, I was like, I don't really care until I watched it again, and then I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. But if you give it too much time, then you don't care anymore. And it's the same thing with Revolution. Same thing with Continuum. Same thing with Defiance. Defiance is a really good show, though. That was amazing.
I didn't like the beginning 4 or 5 episodes.
Well,
it took
a little to get into it.
Yeah.
You know, you're being introduced to new characters and stuff like that, and to the format and to the different races and stuff. But I really liked it. I thought it was a really good show.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see more.
If a show is a slow burn, watching it episodically can sometimes...
Well, Hemlock Grove was a slow burn, but that was designed as a slow burn.
Yeah. Shows like, I know I watched Terra Nova, the whole series.
I
love that show.
That was a slow burn show, and I think that hurt it watching it in chunks.
I was upset when that one was canceled, because that's an example of a show that I got really into, and I got really invested in it, and then I was really upset when it got canceled.
By the 3rd or 4th last episode, I'm like, I don't care.
Oh, I did.
I enjoyed
the last
it all
episode,
the way.
I was like, I want to see what happens next, because it was sort of ending on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And it happened, and the same thing happened with Persons Unknown a couple years ago too.
Yeah, another show I didn't get invested in because I didn't think it was gonna last. And
I got invested in it until I found out it was being canceled, and then it went downhill. But then I watched the last episode, and I'm like, oh, but it's such a cliffhanger. What the hell?
Yeah.
That's why I'm glad Under the Dome got its 2nd season renewal. So I'm like, okay.
Spoiler alert! They're still under the dome for a whole nother year.
Oh shoot! Really?
Yeah.
Never would have thought.
Another season. But that's a fantastic show. I love that show.
I got a few episodes to get caught back up on, so
does that make you hesitant then to watch new shows because the fact that they may or may not be canceled?
With the state of TV and how the business
or
is
specific genre shows?
I think everything is fair game for being canceled quick now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
there's no guarantees anywhere.
Yeah. I want to be at least knowing I'm getting a couple of seasons out of a show. I think the first time I was burned by that was it Flashpoint?
No,
I didn't even finish that one.
Flash Forward.
Flash Forward, that was it.
Yeah,
it's such a bad show, but I was so into it.
I know, me too. I was like, I can't believe I'm watching this.
Oh, I know. I watched
show.
that series twice. And I'm like, I have no reason to watch this show again.
No, number one, first show that happened, Firefly.
Yeah.
But the writing was on the wall for that one. Ratings were declining each week. So
Flash Forward was
no.
It shouldn't have got me watching it, but it did. And the premise of the show was so cool. The mythology they were building around it.
Plus the actors who were in it. I liked a lot of
the
people.
actors were quality actors, and they had different setups for the 2nd season going forward. I'm like, this is gonna be kind of it's canceled.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Two shows that disappointed me this year that got canceled, and I love them, was 666. So good.
Never even heard of it.
What's his name from Lost?
Yeah, Locke.
From Lost. Fantastic show. And Vanessa Williams, yeah. And the one guy off Brothers and Sisters, I don't remember his name.
Oh, Dave Annabolli or whatever. He was in a show, was it Reunion, I think it was, back in the day?
Maybe.
That was a good show.
No clue.
Fantastic show. Canceled. They burned off the rest of the episodes this
summer.
I
noticed that.
Cult. Excellent show. Really good. Had the one guy from Vampire Diaries. I'm afraid I can't remember his name either.
Who are you playing Vampire Diaries?
The teacher. Substitute teacher.
Oh, right. Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Anyways.
Shows I have no idea about.
It was fantastic. The premise is amazing. It's like a show within a show within a show kind of thing. By the guy that did Farscape. Really great. And it had Teabag from Prison Break on there. Yeah!
What show isn't he in?
Who cares? He's great. He should be in every show. And it was a great show. Canceled. They burned off the rest of the episodes this summer.
There were a couple of comedies that I really liked. Go On with Matthew Perry. That was a really good show, and I was upset when that got canceled. And Partners.
Fat Matthew Perry or Thin Matthew Perry?
Thin Matthew Perry.
Oh, good. He's off the drugs.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
And Partners, which had Brandon Routh was in it, and David Krumholtz and Sophia Bush.
And the Broadway show.
Oh yeah, Smash. Love that show
that show.
Julie loves that show.
But then they canceled it. I haven't even still watched the last 5 episodes.
I have to watch almost the whole season because I can't bring myself to watch it because I know it's going to be upset.
But I think they did end it satisfactorily from what I heard, but I don't recall.
Yeah.
But still, I like it when they can end it, even they know they're canceled and they still have time to end it properly. Mm-hmm. I do enjoy that. I think we
can all agree there's one show on television that should have been canceled already, and that's Glee. Nobody likes that show anymore.
There are a ton of people who love that show.
It's been renewed for like 2 more years. Everybody likes that show.
I watched it for the music, but there are legitimate fans of that show, which is why I think how they're going to write or how they're going to kill Cory Monteith's character off is going to be huge, because if they do it wrong, they're going to have massive rabid fans who are going to be super pissed.
That's the thing.
That used to
be
like
renewed for, like I said, 2 more years. It has fans.
That used to be like the golden television show.
For the first half of the first season.
And then it just tanked.
That's what I told
How is that show still on the air? Well,
because
you've got legitimately better shows
because
that
they
don't.
do have
Have you ever watched
fans.
it?
Unfortunately, I've seen a few episodes.
Okay, so Glee started, and everyone's just like, oh, what's the show about, right? And the first episode was fantastic, right?
First half of the first season was fantastic.
So you keep watching, and before they went on their spring break, like when they take a break, Christmas to January something, right? They do it every year, every show almost. Network TV. Mm-hmm. So the first half of the first season was fantastic. It was a story that had a few songs sprinkled throughout each episode. When it came back during that Christmas break, they'd sold like 1 billion soundtracks.
Well,
retool time.
Exactly.
Now it's songs with a little bit of story around it.
Yeah, now they base story around the song rather than the songs around the story.
Different format. So you can literally see the change. A few songs, all song.
Yeah.
Right? To sell soundtracks.
Well, and that's why they have the theme nights too, like the Britney Spears and Madonna,
so they can sell
the soundtracks.
And that's
exactly.
And that's
it's
the thing,
still
though,
okay.
That the show is promoting CDs, so a show that actually is quality, like some of the ones you mentioned, get canceled.
Yeah.
This doesn't.
But they do have fans who legitimately like the show, though.
It has.
They have. I mean, I don't know any personally, but I know that they do have.
They
fans.
exist.
But I know that they do have legitimate hardcore fans.
They have festivals and all sorts of things. So.
There are people who absolutely.
But no, you're definitely right. If they fumble a ball on how they write his character out.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be huge. Yeah. Because we know they're gonna kill him off. We know that.
Yeah, they said he's not just gonna leave the show.
They'd already started filming, so the first 2 episodes have him in it. And apparently, they're actually going to kill him off. So it depends on how they do it. I think
it'll be like an off-camera
just
car
a car accident or something.
But if
it's
they
the easiest route to go.
If they do it wrong, though, they're going to have a ton of rabid fans on their hands.
There's no right way.
No,
really.
But
so
yeah.
So how many shows on average do you guys watch a week right now? Or let's say in prime time season. Let's say October, November, or April, May.
Way too many. I have a lot.
Well, let's say 10, 20.
Well, yeah, probably
a week.
Probably between, because Monday nights are big nights. Monday nights you have. Sometimes I have 4 or 5 shows a night on some nights, and then some nights there's nothing.
Yeah.
But I would probably say somewhere between 10 and 20 a week.
A week, Garry.
4
a week. Ooh.
There's a lot of stuff that you haven't tried.
Yeah, a lot of my stuff is like 8 episodes gone for a year, 10 episodes gone for a year.
But there's a lot of stuff too that I think you would absolutely love. You just haven't tried it yet.
True. So I mean, I watched Game of Thrones, Doctor Who, Modern Family. Under
it took you a lot of convincing to get you to watch Modern Family.
Again, it was the show is great. The show is great. How many seasons? Like 2.
Yeah, but now I saw we're on to season 5 now.
Yeah,
like Community, we had to convince you to watch that.
Oh yeah.
I don't think so.
That took a lot of convincing. A lot of convincing to get you to watch Community. And then all of a sudden you watch, you're like, oh my god,
and when we're in the middle of season 3 or whatever, and you're starting to watch season 1, hey, did you see that episode where blah, blah, blah? We're like, yeah, like 2 years ago.
Shut up.
Like, that's how it usually runs with you. Like, you're always after the fact.
I've been burned before.
Doesn't matter.
A lot of the shows that we like, if we recommend to you, it's because we think you're gonna like it, not just because we like it.
Yeah.
It's
so they'll be canceled.
I watch too many as well. Too many. And I also watch a lot of foreign shows, a lot of BBC stuff, some Australian stuff, even a little bit of Danish, Swedish stuff. So I'm all over the map. So for me, even though I can still clean the house, go to work, watch movies, play on my computer, take out the dogs, and do everything else I have to do, I'd say between 20 and 40 a
How
week.
do you watch, like,
That's
do you
physically
sleep?
impossible.
What?
No, it is not, because I do it.
How do you do it?
I don't know. I do get up very early.
Yeah, so
I enjoy sleeping.
how much sleep do you usually get a night when you...
About 6 hours, maybe. Sometimes 5.
You don't get home till like what, 10:30, 11?
10:30.
I've seen you post on Facebook at like 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm up at 5 a.m.
So do you go straight to bed as soon as you get home and then...
Nope.
Nope.
Jesus. Oh my god.
So, like, and plus, because I stream shows, a lot of them don't have commercials.
That's true.
Right?
So it's like 20 minutes instead
So it's not really an hour. It's like
It's
42 minutes or
42
whatever
minutes
it might be.
Yeah, I do that too.
And a half-hour comedy isn't 30 minutes. It's 20 to 22
it's the same thing with
minutes.
DVRing too. You can just, I mean...
Yeah,
commercials
exactly.
would be faster.
DVR, you take out all the ads, right?
Yeah. That's
Not
true.
that I don't like ads, because they're fantastic, and they really round out my shows. But,
It would pad out your watch time.
yeah, exactly. So, no commercials takes out a lot of
True.
time. It saves you a lot of time.
True.
So yeah, there's weeks
You know what else
where...
would save you a lot of time?
Hmm?
You know what else would save you a lot of time?
Not watching those shows.
Maybe not watching so many of
And
them.
yet,
Like these
how do I
Danish
accomplish
sitcoms
so
or whatever.
much? Not Danish sitcoms. I watched one show. It's called The Bridge, which
Das Bridge.
FX has remade into an American remake
Of course
called
they have.
The Bridge.
Oh,
Of course they have, because that's what...
Yeah.
that's what Americans do.
What do you think about remakes?
It depends. When it's... If it's
Name a good remake.
The Office.
True.
Okay,
I'll give you
nailed
that
it.
one.
Got it in one.
There you go. The Office.
Name the shittiest remake.
The IT Crowd.
Thank you.
The IT Crowd, Skins, Being
Elementary.
Human.
Being Human.
Elementary's not a remake.
No, it's
It's
not
a
a remake.
blatant ripoff.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
it's not-
It's a
not-
rip-off, but it's not a remake.
It's not a remake of...
They didn't remake every episode of the IT Crowd in the American version, but
They only
it's
made
still...
one episode because
Oh.
and it was an exact remake of...
was it?
Yeah, it was word for word.
Shameless, I don't care for. I'm not saying it's terrible, but I won't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've seen the first one, but it's basically an almost shot-for-shot remake of the original British
Well, that's what
Shameless.
happens a lot in first seasons. Usually after the first season it breaks away. Like with Queer as Folk, the first season was pretty much identical, except, you know, a character dies in the British series, but they're alive in the American one. And actually, I'm pretty sure the American one lasted quite a bit longer. I think the British series only lasted 2 seasons, and the American one
So
lasted
I guess
5.
what we're all saying is we can't wait till the American version of Downtown Abbey.
It really depends.
It's not really Downtown Abbey.
Whatever the hell it's called.
Downtown Abbey.
Whatever.
But it
The
really,
hottest spot for prostitutes.
but it really depends because, like, they're, by and large, American remakes of British shows are
By and
terrible.
large.
But,
Super inferior.
yeah, but there have been 1 or 2 here that have slipped by that have been decent or even good.
I'm still throwing Elementary in.
It's not, a remake. So, invalid.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the American version of Luther then.
Oh, yeah.
Let's let that happen.
Luther's
Not.
amazing. Just finished watching Series 3.
You mean
It's
the
fantastic.
4 episodes of Series 3?
That's all it is.
I know. It's
It's the same thing with Sherlock, too, though. It's only, like, a few episodes.
This series is only going to be 3 episodes, yeah.
It's so good.
It's
That's
part
the
of
thing.
Well, but Sherlock's been 3 episodes. Like,
No, I think the first one was 4, and
yeah,
the second
first
one was 4.
Yeah.
was it?
Yes.
First one was definitely 4.
That's the thing with British television,
Yes.
which you
Because
may
the
or
one
may
is
not
first
notice.
is great, middle is garbage, last is great.
No, it was 4 episodes.
It was 4
Name
episodes.
them.
I'll look it
I
up
don't
right now.
remember.
I will look it up right now.
Anyways, with British television, it's far different than American television, if
Yeah.
you didn't know that.
Luther's episode count changed.
Yes, it did. It was
8-8-4 or something.
Yeah, 8-6.
That's what burned me. Sherlock has been consistently 3 episodes per season.
I don't think it's been 3
I'm looking up right now.
Anyways,
can't wait to prove me right.
With British television, they don't follow the same rules as network television over here
not
because it's a public
right?
broadcasting type system.
I like how they go. I like their format over there.
That's why they don't have...
This is unaired pilot!
Still.
That's why they don't have seasons over there. They're series. Because they can air more than one series per year. Right? And each series can be any amount of episodes. It could be one episode.
I like that format.
It could be 12 episodes. It could be whatever. It's a series.
Yeah.
For instance, Alan Carr, Chatty Man. Mm-hmm. It used to be 1 series a year. Now it's 2 series a year. Because it's so popular. Graham Norton sometimes has 2 series a year.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the thing. So like Luther, it had 6 episodes, it had 8 episodes, it had whatever. This year it was 4 episodes, just because he's a busy guy, has a busy schedule. So it had 2...
You gotta fight some monsters.
Yeah, it had 2 2-part arcs, and that was it. Skins has 6 episodes this year, where other years it had 10.
Yeah.
Right?
The only thing I don't like about British TV is that, it's a show that you really like, and then you don't know if it's coming back or not.
You do. You just have to look it up.
Yeah,
basically.
but they don't always, because you don't know when it's supposed to come back. You
don't know the air date, but you can look up to see if it's been renewed. Usually they let you know by the end of the series. You just Wikipedia it or whatever. It tells you.
Speaking of Wikipedia, Rebecca, the answer was...
There's an unaired pilot.
And the other season?
The other seasons had 3.
Thank you. 3 episodes per season of Sherlock.
Well, anyways, Being Human, its series were shortened near the end.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I never even finished the last season.
It's amazing.
Actually, I don't know, I missed an episode here and there or something like that, so I'd have to go back and see it
sometimes they split their series up, like Doctor Who.
Yeah.
They put half of the first series here and half of the first series there.
I remember when I was a kid watching TV, especially for American TV, it was pretty much all I watched. It followed school schedules.
Yep.
So TV started in September and it ended in June. And
it's still like that. They always split the season in between calendar years. So it's 2012, 2013.
But no,
this
it was
year's
continual.
2013,
It was like continual. And then as I started getting older, going to high school and that, it started starting in October, ending in May. By the time I finished high school, it started in November, ended in April.
Yeah, they bumped shows up just a bit. They're trying to create less of a lag in between. They're
plus
shut
big production
down.
costs.
There's
go
that
up
too.
As well, and turnaround
There's a lot of
times on
factors.
shows. Yeah.
Well, the other thing too is that now they have a lot more summer seasons and stuff like that too. So a lot of stuff has to finish before the new show.
There's a new show right now on NBC called Crossing Lines with William Fichtner. Fantastic.
You mean our new Shredder?
Yes, that's who I mean.
Our new American Shredder?
It's a fantastic procedural show because it's not your normal type. It takes place in Europe, in all sorts of different countries. They're like an international type task force dealio, and they go here and there and catch serial killers all over the place. It's awesome.
That's cool.
It's NBC took a risk on it, and it's paying off. They took a risk with Hannibal. It paid off.
Not Bates
great
Motel.
show.
Did you watch Bates Motel?
Bates Motel, fantastic. One of the best shows
that,
that came out this year. It is so good.
I'm watching a show right now called Siberia, which is pretty good, and it's supposed to be it's a scripted show, but it's filmed like a reality show. The premise is that there's 16 contestants dropped off in Siberia, and they have to stay throughout the winter.
That's what Survivor should be.
And whoever's left at the end shares $500,000. But it's sort of Lost Lakes. There's creatures out there. They don't know what they are. And
oh, cool!
Yeah.
Like actual creatures, or just production creatures that the show was made for them?
Actual creatures.
Ooh.
So
speaking of
dag runs.
So everyone no one trusts each other because it's a reality show.
Are they turning on each other and
some of them, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So food goes missing and someone gets blamed and stuff like that. And
you piqued my interest with scripted reality. Now you have my curiosity.
All reality scripted though, basically.
But this is
a
real. It's not. It's supposed to be like a reality. It's based on
So speaking of reality, do any of you watch
No,
reality shows?
I do.
What do you watch?
I watch Survivor, and I started watching Big Brother.
I watch Big Brother too. I've been watching this series.
I really like it.
It's pretty good.
It's
a lot of
awesome.
controversy.
Yeah.
I like the overseas versions where it's.
I
more
prefer.
interesting.
That's the thing too. It's unedited basically over there. If there's boobs, there's boobs. If there's swearing, there's swearing. If there's this, there's this.
Because you cannot put 12 people in a house that small and everyone doesn't fight or swear or.
Well,
do
that's
other
what's
things.
happening on this U.S. version.
Yeah.
Lots of racism.
Yeah, but it's gonna be like
infighting,
It's gonna be bleeped and cut and just.
Oh,
yeah,
they showed
bleeped,
some
but,
this year.
But they,
it just seems that those quote unquote reality shows are the furthest from reality you can get.
But the thing with Big Brother 2 is they also have what they call After Dark.
Yeah.
And it's basically just a live
It's the
feed.
24-hour live feed.
Yeah. So you can anyone can watch it.
You can find all the clips on YouTube for all the stuff you missed, or if there's some controversial
So they
thing
do have,
or whatever.
if you have the time and the energy to watch it, you can watch the live feeds, and it's just 24 hours of live feed. Yeah. So, they're not cutting that stuff out, but they bleep stuff out when they're swearing and stuff. But that's just when someone gets evicted.
Actually, this year they have been cutting some parts of the live feed. When people have sex, they cut that out. Other years they didn't. Other years they didn't. But
there's quite a bit because there's tons of showmances this year, so there's a lot of
showmances.
That's what they call them.
The fact that's a term, I think, speaks volumes to the state of the society.
It's a new era. Lots of.
It's a good show though, and I really like it. And then I'm also watching Who Done It, which is sort of mole-like. It's people who are it's like 14 people or something.
People look like moles.
No, remember the show The Mole?
I've never watched it.
It was a reality show from like a decade ago or so where they had to.
They're all game shows. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but they had to do challenges in order to make money for the pot. One person is the mole, and they're trying to sabotage everything. But it's sort of like that. But
it's actually a really cool card game based upon that premise that everyone should check out and play. It's kind of fun.
What's it called?
Can't remember.
It's awesome.
Well, that's a good game.
It.
I like it.
But anyway, so Who Done It is sort of like that, but it's every week there's a murder. So
that's cool.
You have to try to solve the murder, and whoever gets the lowest, whoever knows the least about it, gets murdered for the next week.
Oh.
So it's really cool though. I like it.
All right. Well, to wrap this episode up of TV Talk, because we'll probably do more. Mm-hmm. What are some shows you'd recommend right now? Not necessarily airing right now, but I mean just it's 2013, September's coming up, new season, September, October. What do you recommend people watch, tune in for?
Things coming up, I mean, always check out Sherlock.
Yeah.
That show's starting up soon. We got
and who? Doctor Who.
It's only a 50th anniversary episode.
Got the 50th anniversary in November, and then the Christmas special in December.
Yeah.
Modern Family, as far as sitcoms go, is always a great show to check out.
Community.
And watch. Community, finally getting Dan Harmon back after they stupidly fired him.
I'm so excited for that.
Although Donald Glover being rolled back to like half the episodes or something is going to be a little odd.
4 episodes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's focusing on his rap career.
Oh, so it's his own choice then.
Yeah.
That's what
and Chevy Chase being gone, I mean, how they're going to write him out is going to be kind of... They're going to take it head on, though. They're not going to skimp away from it. Dan Harmon did an interview. They're going to address it. This is why he's not there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
what else? Game of Thrones?
Yeah, that's the next thing. 2014.
Last half season of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that starts off August 11th. Psyched about that. It's gonna be sad. I can't wait to see how it ends because I don't know if there's gonna be a good ending for that show.
That's the problem with that's the problem with any show that's ending.
He's gonna get killed.
The probability...
I don't know. That's the obvious conclusion, though.
I know.
But that's the problem with any show ending because, there's so many shows that have been really, really good and then the ending just...
But it's how he gets killed.
I don't know.
Will probably kill him.
Or do you let him live with what he's done and have the family pay the price?
That'd be alright.
I mean, there's a lot of different ways
like his family.
His kid's fine.
I don't mind the kid.
I don't like the wife. The wife is...
I hate the wife.
Oh.
It's terrible.
She's so annoying.
Yeah, terrible.
But
there's ways to end that show, and I don't... Yeah. I'm afraid of how it's going to end, but I can't wait to see it at the same time.
All right, Rebecca, same question. Shows you recommend this coming year. People have to tune in for.
Stuff that I mentioned before. Castle, I love. Supernatural, I like. Arrow's good.
Yeah, starting back up in October, right, Arrow?
Yeah.
And then the comedies Community and Modern Family. This is the last season of How I Met Your Mother, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it might be cool to tune in just because you actually get to meet her this year.
No.
Don't you? They get.
It lost steam
How
like
far
2
are you
years
up
ago.
to?
I've seen right to the end.
Okay,
So fun.
you meet her in 9.
Yeah, but you don't meet her. You
The
see
show's
her.
called literally How I Met Your Mother. They met. So this episode.
They haven't actually met yet. They just showed.
Yeah, they just showed
They
they
showed her.
don't
They
meet.
haven't
The
actually
whole
met.
episode, whole season takes place over what, one weekend?
Yeah,
I think
basically.
it's the premise of season 10.
All during the wedding.
That's one of those shows that shouldn't have gone 10 seasons.
No, it should not have. It should have ended about 4 years
Yeah.
ago.
There's no, like, how old was Ted Mosby as a character when that show started?
I don't know.
Versus how old he is now,
Probably,
versus
like,
how old
late
he is in the
20s or
future.
so.
Yeah.
So, like, his kids are...
Transforms into Bob Saget.
Yeah.
Weird.
I like to see him explain that in the show.
Voices don't change that much.
What else?
I hope Pawnee punches him in the throat and he starts sounding like Bob Saget.
I know
in the
you watch
finale.
more than that, so what else you got?
What else do I watch? I watch a ton of stuff.
You watch all of the shows.
Oh, that's me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's you. What else? What else is
You
there?
watch them all at the same time. Like Batman.
Well, a lot of crap that I watched last year has been canceled. So
Alright, well, how about I go?
yeah.
I recommend Revenge for your revenge-based fantasies, because it's so good. Hell on Wheels for your Western desires.
I've never heard of that one.
Vikings.
Your Western desire.
That's right. It's the best Western on TV. Longmire's really good as well. I watched that.
Beware the Batman. That's
That's gonna be
cartoon
good.
I was thinking
What
of.
is?
Beware the Batman, the new Batman cartoon. Retooled though after
Yeah.
the
What else we got? Vampire Diaries I really like.
Mm-hmm.
And the spin-off, The Originals, looks like it's gonna be
Oh
really
yeah, that was the one with the spin-off that I was thinking of.
good.
Yeah.
BBC's got a zombie show coming out. I want to see.
It's already out. Already
Oh,
out.
is it?
Yeah.
Dang.
And the French one. It's good too.
Dang.
What else we got? Boardwalk Empire, fantastic show about the 20s from Martin Scorsese. True Blood is good, but it's almost over. For this year anyways. The new pirate show from Stars, I think it's called Black Sails, I want to say. It looks pretty awesome.
I'm excited for Shield,
Yeah, I'm hyped. I'm looking forward to it.
and I do like Once Upon a Time. I love that
I
show.
detest that show.
I just
Love
can't
it.
wait till the Fables movie comes out and embarrasses the hell out of both those shows.
I don't think that'll happen.
It will.
I love Once Upon a Time, and I do like Grimm too. But
Yeah. Jeez, there are so many shows. I don't know what else to say.
I know
Watch all of the shows.
Pretty much, just watch
all of them.
everything.
Watch everything so nothing gets canceled. So Jeff can
Suburgatory
still
is
watch
good.
them.
Yeah, that's a good comedy. Mr. D, really recommend. Everyone should watch that.
Mhm.
Comedy-wise. Yeah.
That New Girl might be getting the
Oh.
Wayans back.
New Girl is
Yeah.
oh yeah, because
New Girl's pretty funny.
New Girl, I forgot about that. New Girl's one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's-
Damon
that's
Wayans Jr.
funny.
was Damon
The whole
Wayans.
story behind that is hilarious.
Well, Damon Wayans Jr. was supposed to be he was in the pilot, but then he got happy ending, so he quit.
Yeah, that was his New Girl was his backup show,
Yeah.
and then Happy Endings got canceled. He's like, hey, can I come on back?
Because it's the guy that replaced him wasn't the same character, it was a
Yeah.
different character. So I wonder if they're gonna have both of them, or if Winston's going to have to get out, or
GTFO, buddy. It's like The Walking Dead. You can't have too many non-white characters on the screen at the
Yeah.
same time. And Walking Dead, obviously.
Walking Dead's gonna be great.
The trailer for season 4 they showed off at Comic-Con
Yeah,
looks better than the first half of season 2.
I know.
Fantastic.
American Horror Story, always good.
Well, yeah,
Can't wait
I
for
remember
that.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Is there any show that you know about coming out that could be this year's The Cape? That just looks
Maybe S.H.I.E.L.D.?
So... Shut up.
As in,
Shut your mouth.
as in, it kind of looks okay, but it's probably going to fail. You mean?
I said The Cape, so I'm not sure where you got the kind of looks okay from.
Oh,
I
so you
never
mean
saw
it
The
looks
Cape.
fantastic and it'll probably get canceled?
I never saw that show. Was it just
Nobody did.
terrible from
I
start to
saw the
finish?
first few episodes. I liked it. I liked it. Sheldon liked it.
Notice how we didn't mention that show.
Yeah, that show's declined hugely.
It's garbage.
I still like it. I still watch it.
It's terrible.
I still think it's funny.
That's the Big Bang Theory. No more Big Bangs. It's just the theory.
I still think it's funny.
Patronizing to everyone that shares the interests of the people who listen to this show. It's a patronizing, pandering show.
I found out that Alphas was canceled because of that show.
Yeah. Alphas was good, though.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Alphas.
I didn't realize it was canceled until Sheldon went on a rampage.
I recommend Continuum. Great sci-fi show.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone should be watching Continuum. It is great.
I think we need a Stargate back on the air.
There should be a Stargate or a Battlestar Galactica type show.
We need a space show. Like I want a Star Trek show back on the air.
Well, because I thought Defiance was going to be something like that, but in Defiance they can't even go up into space.
It's
Earth-based, because it's a budget thing.
Well, the premise is that there's so much, space junk out there they can't even fly planes.
That's stupid.
That's the premise.
That's stupid.
Because there are so many,
are you talking in space or in orbit around the planet?
Well, everything, because there's, I think.
Well, there was a huge, basically intergalactic war. There's like 6 or 7 different species on Earth right now.
Yeah. So there's a huge thing, and then there was an explosion that went off accidentally, I think, and it terraformed the Earth, and so all these ships blew up basically. So now there's, they can't go anywhere. Like everyone's basically ground locked because there's so much. In one episode they have this stuff called Razor Rain, which is a storm that shoots bits and pieces from spaceships down.
Space is pretty big.
Yeah, but if everything is still sort of in orbit, right around,
pew pew pew,
they don't have that capability. I don't know.
Whatever. So, lots of recommendations. Any shows you think people should avoid at all costs?
Big Bang Theory.
I don't know.
How I Met Your Mother, I say.
I still watch them.
It's declined greatly.
I'm not arguing that point. No,
they declined, but I still watch them just because
This season I'll probably check out.
Barney's still semi-humorous, and so is Marshall. Semi-humorous, and so is Marshall. But otherwise, Ted Lamesby and even chick there, what's her name? Robin. They suck.
I'm not a huge fan of Robin. I like Lily. Lily's funny still.
Yeah, she's okay, sort of, but.
I'm looking forward to the end of How I Met Your Mother, so she can stop being Maria Hill on a full-time basis.
I didn't even care for that.
The shows that I can't still believe are still in the air are stuff like Honey Boo Boo and Tellers and Tiaras and all that.
Yeah, no one here watches Survivor, Dynasty, right?
I still watch Survivor, but Real Housewives and all those things, I don't understand why.
I saw 5 minutes of Duck Dynasty when I was in Ottawa. I have no idea what's going on in this show. I don't see what's happening.
Hand fishing and,
They're sitting in an office talking about being out of coffee for 8 minutes.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
What about...
here's one. Is there a show that you enjoy, that you watch, that you have no reason to actually watch and enjoy, that you're it's a guilty pleasure, you're ashamed of watching?
Pretty much any reality show that I watch.
Not really.
Oh, okay.
There's shows I watch out of habit that maybe I should just stop watching.
Yeah.
Like Big Bang Theory and How I Met Your Mother, or I don't even watch every episode of Big Bang. If Stephanie's watching it, I'll watch it. But anyways, Californication, for instance, is one with David Duchovny.
Yeah.
That's why I started watching that show, because I love David Duchovny. But the last 2 years have been boring as anything, and it's just the same old rehash over and over and over and over. Tired of it. But I keep thinking, okay, this will be the last year. I'll just watch it. And then it gets renewed again.
It's your Teen Titans.
That's what I was like with True Blood for a while, because I did not like season 3
and Law and Order SVU. Oh my god, that show was so gritty.
It's
the
canceled
first
now, isn't it?
bunch of years,
it's still on?
And it was fantastic. Now it's just boring. Rehash
there are only
the
so
last
many
3
sexual,
years.
crimes.
Yeah,
no,
how
but
many
they
predators
can
are there
change
in
it
New
up.
York?
No, but the whole point of it is the Special Victims Unit is it's the sexual crimes. That's what it. There's only so many ones you can do after
how
10
many ways
seasons.
can you sexually assault somebody?
Yeah.
The thing is because they changed the format of the show. That's why it got worse. It's all.
Plus, did Stabler leave?
Yeah. Well, whatever. But still, they changed the show before he left, and it just...
How did they change the format? Like, what's...
Because, like I said, it used to be all gritty and like sort of
so now it's just tame
realistic. Now it's
clowns committing the sex crimes
and boring and sort of touchy-feely, and it's
Oh.
almost like a soap opera, but it's not.
Wasn't that what they were fighting against, all the touchy-feelies?
Yeah.
For me, my guilty pleasure show, and I got to watch more of it while I was away, Storage Wars.
I watched probably 8 or 10 episodes in a row of the Texas one.
Oh, I don't know. Texas, New York
It's terrible.
ones. No, the original ones with Dave Hester.
Mm.
Yep. Those guys, I love them. I love that show so much.
Thing is, I think because the little marathon that I watched, they didn't really find anything good. In like 10 episodes, they found nothing good.
Okay, you'll appreciate this because you're an old school Magic player. They cracked open this one locker and they found a box of Magic cards and a binder. The cards in the binder were all pretty junky, so the guy had no idea about them. Took him to a trade show or whatever, and he found like the guy selling Magic cards. The guy's flipping through the shoebox and they're like all common. He's like, whatever, $5. He's like, oh, no. What about these? So he hands him the binder. The guy's flipping through, and the camera pans, and it shows a Mox Pearl, a Time Twister, and a Black Lotus.
Oh, Black Lotus is
Now,
hard to come by.
They were people in the online community that saw the episode, like Magic players, I think it was a Time Twister. They were fairly certain they weren't alphas.
Yeah.
They were at least they were probably betas. Each one of those cards is $700, probably around that for a beta version. The guy at the stand gave him like $650, $700 for all three, including the rest of the binder. Like a Mox Pearl, a Time Twister, and a Black Lotus. Like, that's over $2,000 worth of cards, and everyone's like, he got robbed.
Yeah.
Like, they had no idea, and they got robbed. I'm watching it, I'm specifically watching the episode, I'm like, okay, he's gonna take him to a booth, I want to see what cards they are, and he's like, he's got a Black Lotus, like a beta Black Lotus. I'm like, oh, no!
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's so when they find the things like that, the show is fantastic. Even when it's not, some of the characters in the show are just hilarious.
Oh, the Texas one? No.
Same as the New York.
I've never really seen any of those.
I saw some of the New York one for the first time. Like, I don't care for any of these people.
I don't mind reality shows when it's competitions.
You know when I like reality shows? The Soup.
Yeah.
That's when I like
reality
shows.
That's what as much as I can handle of, Honey Boo Boo or Toddlers and Tiaras and
that's it.
Hillbilly Hand Fishing and Finding Bigfoot and all those,
Yeah.
Gold Rush Alaska,
That's it.
They're barely TV shows.
Everyone should watch The Soup. That show
The Soup is awesome.
Is amazing.
Joel McHale he's hilarious. And he makes fun of real shows sometimes too, but it's almost all
the news
reality
and stuff like that.
Well,
Good Day New York.
Oh yeah, he does. But every once in a while he'll make fun of like he made fun of One Tree Hill.
Yeah.
And he's made fun of I don't know, Pretty Little Liars. He made fun of that one.
Yeah.
All right. Final thoughts. Anything?
I believe that we're getting better shows, but the better shows kind of exist in a smaller pocket than they did previously.
But because you don't have as wide a range as, let's say, the two of us, you don't really know that.
That's true.
Where
it's good to know that we have so many options for different genres of TV then.
Yeah.
That if no matter what your tastes are, you can probably find one or two shows that'll get to you that you can stay with and watch. There's always a risk of them not being around very long.
I think the biggest hope for shows to stick around are on cable or British or Canadian TV and stuff like that, because the networks are so cancel happy.
Yeah.
You have a lot higher chance of something sticking around if it's on a cable show or if it's from Canada or from Britain or whatever, because the shows from the network shows, unless they get super awesome ratings, the chances aren't great that
they're not going to be around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think the hope is...
My final thought, watch Banshee. Probably my favorite show out of the whole last year.
Never heard of it again.
Me neither.
It's amazing.
Are you making up shows?
You watch it, you'll love it.
Okay.
And that's it for TV Talk today. It's Geoff.
And Garry.
And the Griff.
See you later.